still we represent for the Global Entertainment News Network. Of course, I have Mr. Norman,
How you doing?
Mr. Spanglish himself in the building. So I know today is Monday, of course. Everybody's starting fresh. Long weekend.
Yeah, it was a long weekend.
I know for me it wasn't. Because
I
was
know
working
you've been
all day.
busy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I know I had a fresh shirt earlier. I was speaking Swahili. So I was telling people, get ready. Mr. Norman is going to be in the building, share one or two things. So I know one of the biggest news that happened over the weekend is the verdict.
Yes, finally.
So from your perspective, what's your input on the verdict?
Well, number one, I want to say I'm happy to be back here with you guys. Thank you, AJ, for having me here again. And of course, Zimmerman case has started trending everywhere on Friday, and then on Saturday we had the final verdict.
Yes.
Of course, with all the social media we have,
Yes.
I got it on my cell phone. Boom, boom, Zimmerman not guilty.
Yes.
We talked on Friday about the situation that Zimmerman, they had no. Basically, the jury asked for more information about manslaughter. So people were thinking, oh, maybe he's going to be accused of manslaughter. But finally, the six female jury decided that Zimmerman is not guilty. And from my personal point of view, I think America's got a great system.
Yes.
And we need to respect it. My personal point of view is there's no winners in this.
No.
There's no winners. Mr. Zimmerman is not a winner. The affected family of this kid, what's his name? Taylor? Trevin Taylor.
Yeah.
His family, of course, is not a winner. They lost life. So either way, it's a sad day. There's been a lot of protests. A lot of people on the streets. LA had I think New York had the biggest one, and LA had another big one. Even here in Kansas City, we had one yesterday, and they are announcing two more today. Two protests today about all the people there, against what the not guilty deal. But the truth is, we need to respect. The good thing about all the protests that I see is that there is no violence on it, and that's pretty good on people. And I think everybody's got the right of this is the great thing about our country here, that we all have the right to say what we want, and
freedom of speech is very
freedom of speech. That's what we hear sitting behind this mics.
Yeah.
But the truth is, personally, I think we need to respect. We need to understand that we have a good judicial system, and if they say not guilty, they saw all the things that happened, and we need to respect it. Now, we're free to say whatever we want to, but we need to respect it for the own good of the whole society.
All right. So my other question is, from your perspective, as not only as a Hispanic individual, from your perspective as a parent,
yeah.
do you think the judicial system did the justice to Mr. Trevor's family?
Well, it's really hard to say it without having all the facts in place. You see, I was not 100% on the whole process,
Yes.
so I can't tell exactly. As a parent, of course, you want justice. You want justice to be done, and you want somebody to pay for what happened to your family.
Yes.
You gotta separate a little bit. As a parent, the worst thing that can happen to you, and that's something that I will always say, you should never see one of your kids die.
Yes.
That's why we grow old and die, so we don't get the chance to see our kids die. But
You
know,
don't
some
want to
people-
bury your kids, yeah?
you don't bury your kids,
You
but
want
the
your
truth
kids
is,
to bury you. That's-
yeah, that should be the normal, the logical way, but the reality is, in this case, and like many other cases, you know, you end up doing totally the opposite, and as a parent, yeah, it hurts. It hurts, and, I mean, you will forgive, but you can't forget, and that's something that you will have to live the rest of your life with. Very tough. I watched the brother of Zimmerman on CNN
Yes.
Saturday night. He was talking about this whole deal. That's, you know, of course, his side, and saying, well, you know, you need to stop talking about my brother, you know, saying that, you know, that he's guilty, because we can't talk about guilty when my brother's not guilty, and, you know, he's got the right to say that, you know, because at the end of the day, he was considered not guilty. Now,
But
a crime was committed.
I mean, I wanna cut you off a little bit about that. I'm sorry about that. But I watched a little bit of the interview he had on CNN.
Mhm.
Don't you think that's the little bit what he was saying about the way he was labeling the Travis, based on the circumstances?
Mhm.
Don't you think that's going to bring more different ideology for the people that was watching and following this whole trial thing? Don't you think that that's more, it was more like him not being fair to the family of the deceased Travis? What do you think?
Yes, no, I see your point. He basically said that his brother was a victim because his brother basically was attacked by the kid, and his brother defended himself. And self-defense, we all have the right of self-defense. So that's basically what the defense was approaching the whole case. You know, that he was defending himself from a person that was told, you know, to just leave or something, and chose not to leave, a person that chose to attack, and saying that, you know, his brother was attacked, was beaten down, and was threatened with his own gun, and he was able to basically get his gun back and basically kill somebody. So it's a very sad story. It's hard to not, you know, not be on either side, but, you know, somehow we need to move on in life, and understand that we need to respect, you know, and if that guy is innocent now, we need to respect that, because we cannot go against our whole system and
Yes.
think that our whole system is corrupted. Now, there is something very important. It's there's always another option, and of course there's a civil case on it, because of course in civil cases are not as strong as the other case. Civil cases are easier to win because they don't need to prove all these different things just to prove that this guy acted, you know, with hate. And so he's probably going to be facing in a civil court, and that might go the other route, you know, same as O.J. Simpson case, you know, that he won one side, but the civil case,
You lost.
you know, he lost. So this is not the last thing we're going to hear about Mr. Zimmerman, and also, you know, we got to make an emphasis that, you know, during the whole case, Zimmerman was also threatened a lot, and like his own attorneys and other people around are saying he needs to be careful, because, you know, there's a lot of hate, and there's a lot of people that will probably react, and his life, as of right now, is also in danger, and that's another human being. And we're not in that era where, you know, you kill me, I kill you, you kill your brother, and families were killed. We need to set up an example and, you know, not do something like that. So personally, I would say we need to learn to respect what happened and understand and forgive, because with forgiveness, probably we're going to have a better world.
All right. My other question is just for you to put your input in there. What do you think about American First Amendment as far as gun control and people that? Because, you know, it seems like everyone is concealed these days.
Yeah.
From your perspective, what do you think NRA should do, just to not only for the people to protect themselves, just to keep the safe. Even the safest place is not safe anymore because everyone is concerned. So in your input, like as far as you're concerned, what do you think the NRA need to do?
Well, personally, I think the First Amendment is here for a reason, and respect, and it's very important. We cannot just say, hey, we need to change this because that's why it's called the First Amendment. So, I think the NRA needs to be. They need to do a couple twists on the law and make sure that they're not putting guns on people that are really dangerous. And now, is it gonna stop like we talked before? It's probably not. Are the guns still gonna be on the wrong hands all the time? Yes. There's a lot of guns. It's the #1 business in the world, and there's always people that can basically get a gun without a permit. So guns will be in the hands of people all the time, and by the government and the NRA, what they need to do is probably get a little more strict on, like basically do some psychological profiling on people before they get a gun. But other than that, I think everybody deserves the right to defend themselves, and even though it's rough and it's tough, and you're hearing this from a person that doesn't have a gun and doesn't believe in guns, and I think I'm okay without it, and I don't think I need one, and I think when it's my time to leave this world, that will be my day, and I have to understand and respect that. But I do respect the law, and I do respect the First Amendment, and I think these people on top, the government, the NRA, I think they're doing the best they can now. Can they do better? Probably. Can things be different? Probably. Can the world be different? Probably. But until we stop the biggest business in the planet, that is the war, then it will not work.
Change.
There's a lot of guns in people's hands, and right now it's really hard to change something that has been for so long. And that's my personal perspective. I do respect it, but like I said, on a personal level, I don't carry a gun. I'm not planning on doing it, and I'm hoping that I'm not needing one.
That's good. Again, I know we touched bases on what's going on in Kansas City as far as
Kansas City. Well,
yes.
there's some.
That's the
Kansas City. Well, I wanted to talk to you about the thing that is back.
Yeah.
And I know people. There was a lot of sad people. I don't know, like a year ago when the Twinkie. And we're gonna talk about the Twinkie. The Twinkie, the cupcake, the delicious Twinkie.
Yes.
They took it out of the stands, and they didn't think that people were going to react so bad about it, and people just wanted the Twinkie back. Well, to all the Twinkie lovers, I want to tell you right now, Twinkie is back.
They're back on business.
And if you want some Twinkies, you can go get them to your stores. I was yesterday at my neighborhood store yesterday, and there was a big sign about the Twinkies, and they were out of Twinkies, and they were waiting for the shipment of Twinkies. So there'll be a lot of people buying Twinkies. There is something going on today here in Emporia. They're going to have a Twinkie fair, and there'll be free Twinkies, fried Twinkies. I don't know. You can probably find out on different websites more about it. I just heard about it on the news today. It's a Twinkie fair here in Emporia, Kansas. And supposedly, looking at the Twitter and something, there's been fights for Twinkies already. So the Twinkie's back and stronger. So that's we had going back to the sad side of the story. Over here where we live in Johnson County, in the Kansas side of Kansas City.
Yes.
We had a drive-by shooting yesterday. So the cops were. Our first drive-by shooting in the year.
That's the first
the
in the
first
year or
one.
the first overall?
The first drive-by shooting you see how the city is split. I mean, we live in a beautiful city, Kansas City, and it's amazing that we're on the news on, weekly basis watching drive-by shootings and on the Missouri side of the city, and all of a sudden we have the first drive-by shooting in the Kansas side. So I was impressed. I was not aware of it. I mean, you don't pay attention to that, but looking at the news, they say the first drive-by shooting around this area. So I mean, kind of like it says something about the city, but that's what happened over the weekend. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I see a lot of traffic right now going to Missouri downtown. I know there's supposed to be the playoff or something.
No, well, no. What's happening is, what you watch was that on TV, but what you watch is that the All-Star game, the baseball All-Star game is going to happen, but it's in New York. So the city of New York is celebrating the baseball All-Star game, America's game. America's game is back on its prime. You see, it's hard to talk about baseball not feeling a little bit bad about it because, baseball is America's game. And right now, with all this craziness of doping and the baseball stars, in the last few years coming, positive on doping and all that. Of course, it created this bad image for baseball. Yes. And now, just now, what's the lab's Biogenesis? I think the lab that gave that list of those 20 players, and including one of the biggest in the game, that is Alex Rodriguez. And Ron, the other big star on that list. Yeah. And they just, they came up saying that
Barry Bonds,
well, Barry and all those guys in the past, but this is just recent Biogenesis. Yeah. Well, they basically, supposedly one of the guys that work over there was trying to get some money out of the owner, and because the owner says, go to hell, he just chose to go to the media and say that they were giving something to some players, and they basically, the government, or the anti-doping, in America went straight to this lab and basically threatened the owner, and the owner just made a deal with them, and the deal was, I don't want to go to jail, but I'll give you the list of the players I was injecting, or I don't know how they do it, but in that list of 20 players, Alex Rodriguez and Braun are in it. So of course Alex plays in New York and is the biggest baseball star, and now the All-Star game, tonight we have the Home Run Derby. And just last year we had the All-Star game here in Kansas City around this time, and we had that personal feud with Robinson Cano that didn't want to pick our star Butler to go in the Home Run Derby, so everybody started hating on Robinson Cano, and now Robinson Cano is back being the captain of the American League in the Home Run Derby, and the first thing he said, I think a month ago or something like that, was that he was not gonna call Butler. So of course there's a little bit of hate from Kansas City with Robinson Cano, but it'll be exciting. We'll see what happens. Robinson really did bad last year after the pressure, and there were some insults that went a little bit overboard, and now we're gonna see what happens. So this is this next 2 days is gonna be amazing in New York, and the All-Star game, and it's good. It's good to see the America's game, in their prime, and enjoy it.
Oh, okay. But I'm not very well familiar with the baseball,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm very excited about this soccer.
Yes.
What do you call it?
The Gold Cup.
Is that Gold Cup?
Yeah, the Gold Cup is happening. It's going on in the whole country.
Okay.
It's basically CONCACAF, all the Central American, Caribbean, and North American teams. Basically Canada, Mexico, Honduras, Salvador, and Trinidad, some islands, like Martinique, Cuba is in it, Costa Rica is in it. Gold Cup is like the European Cup, but for the CONCACAF region, that is one of the weakest regions in soccer, honestly, and we need to accept and understand, but it's going on. Mexico, of course, is one of the top teams, and they've been struggling. They lost their first game, and now they won the following 2 games, so they're qualified for the second round, and the way it looks like it is going to be another final, Mexico-USA, and that's when it gets interesting. The sad side of the story is that both Mexico and US are not participating with the top teams. They're supposedly have a B team playing this tournament, and something that will, like, I think if you're playing the Gold Cup, yeah, probably it's not as big as other events, but I think this team should bring the best still to just make it bigger. And there's some people giving already advice on it, said, hey, why don't we bring a couple guests from other regions to make it more interesting, bring a team for South America, bring a team from Africa, bring a team from Europe, and Asia, and make it more interesting, because of course the teams in CONCACAF are not as great as the rest, but that doesn't mean the US, Mexico have done great things in the World Cup. I mean, they qualified better than other teams and open spot for the World Cup, and it's great. Even though Salvador, I think, is going through a betting issue, there are some players that supposedly sold some games, and so CONCACAF is going through a lot of struggle right now. But that's what's happening in soccer in our region, and of course the MLS is always exciting. Kansas City, the Sporting KC, we had a victory on Saturday. We beat up the Canada team, and we beat them 3-0, and we played a great game, and so now I think we're in first place again. So Kansas City is rolling. I mean, I was an event, a soccer event on Saturday, and it was for kids, and soccer is growing pretty good in Kansas City, and that's amazing. That's something that we're very familiar with, and we will enjoy for a long time. I mean, I still say, as of right now, that the best venue in town, the best place to be for a sports game right now, is go to Sporting Park in KC. Honestly, the stadium is amazing. The games are great. We're winning, and we're not having the same experience when we go to Royals or we go to Chiefs. Hopefully the Chiefs will be better this year, but with Sporting KC, we're winning games, and that's very important, and people are having fun. And soccer fans, they know how to have fun.
Oh, yeah,
so
of course, yeah.
and it's very respectful. You don't see a lot of fights, so it's very respectful.
It's not more like British.
Yes, we can call it like that. Yeah, very respectful and very exciting. And we have a sold out stadium every time they play over here. So what's better than that? I mean, I've been to games a lot, and I enjoy all of them. And players are great. We have Claudio Bieler with 9 goals, and it's like in third place in the goal scoring, competition. And we had a French guy, Aurélien Collin, the defender from France, amazing player. And we had a player from Barcelona, from one of the lower divisions of Barcelona. We have a guy from Barcelona here playing in the midfield. And so the team is pretty good. And it's exciting. It's very exciting, John.
Yeah, maybe we need to find these people, bring them to GNN studio.
We can try to, yeah.
We can have people see the team, Because there's a lot of people watching GNN radio right now. They would like to get a glimpse of these people that we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So hopefully that we get these things done, and then. Again, I know this morning you're ready to go back and forth because you're multitasking 2 companies.
Yeah,
so,
I gotta go back to my other stuff going on. So yeah. But thank you for inviting me. Thank you for having me here.
Yes.
And of course, it's always a pleasure. I'll visit you guys soon, and I will say that we had a great conversation today about my Spanish show,
yes.
and it's coming pretty soon.
Yes.
is gonna be called the Norman Live Show, and the Norman Life Show, you gotta live it. So it's gonna be great. I wanna, take this time to invite all the Hispanic community listening and tell them that the show is on the works. It's almost ready, and I wanna say that it'll be something amazing, and you guys will enjoy it. So for the people that don't speak Spanish, well, you better start learning Spanish, because you're gonna miss something great. So that's it for now. Thank you for inviting me, guys. It was a pleasure, and I'll be back soon.
And then I just want to give you a chance to look at the camera and talk to the Spanish community. Tell them what to expect from No
Bueno,
One
amigos,
Life.
sí, la verdad es un placer. Ya casi estamos listos. El proyecto está en pie, está en el nivel de producción en este momento, y tenemos el nombre del show. Se va a llamar The Norman Live Show. Va a ser muy bonito, va a ser una hora diaria. Ese es el proyecto, va a ser una hora diaria de lunes a viernes. Vamos a tocar una variedad de temas. Vamos a hablar de deportes, vamos a hablar de cosas divertidas, vamos a hablar de la familia, vamos a hablar no sé, del horóscopo, de todo. Va a ser un programa bien bonito. Tengo la verdad, el honor de decir de que la persona que va a producir el show es un profesional, es una persona que ha estado en este negocio por más de 30 años. Ya en su momento pasaremos toda la información, y quiero decirle I want to thank Enrique.
Yes.
Quiero decirle a Enrique que muchísimas gracias, Enrique Rodríguez de Lluvia FM, que nos va a estar apoyando en este proyecto. La verdad, amigos, prepárense para algo bonito, nada especial, en el sentido de que no van a escuchar a un tipo hablando así. ¿Qué tal, amigos? ¿Cómo están? No, nada. Vamos a hablar de la vida de la manera más común posible, de la manera en la que yo veo la vida, y la manera en la que todos vemos la vida. Así que va a ser algo bonito. Vamos a hablar de todo un poco, y vamos a tener invitados. Así que quiero invitarlos de antemano a estar pendientes. Va a estar muy bueno, Así que prepárense muy pronto acá en GENN Media. Muy pronto, The Norman Live Show. Así que gracias a todos, y los espero tenerlos en sintonía pronto, y sigan en sintonía de la radio. Está muy buena la música, y un placer siempre estar aquí en el Morning Show con AJ. Y bueno, es todo por el momento. Gracias, amigo.
Sí.
He needs to practice Spanish. Okay, thank you, John.
Thank you very
It
much.
was a pleasure. Always being here. Have a good time. Have a great day.
All right, thank you very much.